Hello and welcome to the Run Testers. My name's Nick and this is our first run review of the Asics Magic Speed 3. So the Magic Speed 3 is the third version of Asics' plated training partner shoe. That's the Magic Speed 2 there. I really liked the Magic Speed 2. It was probably my favourite plated shoe just because the fit worked for me a little bit better than the Endorphin Speed, but it wasn't the most popular shoe out there. And Asics has made some changes to the Magic Speed 3 that make it a bit racier in general. It's £160 in the UK, $160 in the US, which is about right. It's a fair bit cheaper on RRP than most carbon plate racing shoes, pitched well as either a budget alternative to carbon shoes or a training partner shoe. It has a 7mm drop and the stack height is 36mm at the heel, 29 at the forefoot in the men's, and 35 and 28mm in the women's shoe. That's 1mm lower than the Asics Magic Speed 2 in the men's shoe. And it's really light. It's 221 grams or 7.8 ounces. That's in my UK size 9/a US 10. That is a fairly big drop in weight from the Magic Speed 2, which was 238 grams in my size. It's about as light as, or even lighter than most super shoes these days, although the Metaspeed Sky from Asics is a fair bit lighter. The main changes to the Magic Speed 3 are that the plate is now a full carbon plate instead of a mix of carbon and TPU, and then the midsole foams are both FF Blast Plus. You see that written on the side there. The top layer and the bottom layer are both FF Blast Plus, whereas with the Magic Speed 2, the top layer was FF Blast Plus and the bottom layer was a regular flight foam. So you've got two layers of Asics' slightly better foam, even though it's still not the turbo foam you get in the Metaspeed line. You've also now got the motion wrap upper from the Metaspeed series. Still got a little bit of padding on the back, but in general it's lighter, a little bit less thick than the upper on the Magic Speed 2, which helps contribute to the drop in weight. Then you've also got a big cutout on the midsole, which also helps drop in weight. Didn't have that on the Magic Speed 2, but the outsole has been extended, so it now runs the entire length of the medial side of the shoe, and you've got a bit more going on at the heel as well compared to the Magic Speed 2, which should help with durability and grip. So for the first run video, I've gone out and tried to compare it to the other Asics shoes that are relevant to it. So I've done a little A/B test with the Magic Speed 2, but before that, this morning I went and did a 8x1K session where I did a couple of reps in the Metaspeed Sky Plus and then did the rest in the Magic Speed 3 to see how it compares to the full super shoe in Asics' range. Last thing to say is thanks to Sports Shoes for sorting out samples for this review. We're not affiliated with Sports Shoes in any way, and as always, the review is completely unbiased, but they did sort us out with the Magic Speed 3 and also the new Metaspeed Sky Plus colorway for the video. So big thanks to them for sorting us out the shoes so we could do this review. On the fit, I have my normal UK 9, US 10 in the Asics Magic Speed 3, and it fits me pretty well. That's the same size I have in all my Asics shoes, but it's certainly got a tighter, more racy fit than other Asics shoes in the range. So if you're thinking about things like the Nimbus and Kayano, I'd have the same size in those, and I'd have a lot more room in the toe box than I do with the Magic Speed 3. It's quite tight and cramped up there, which is fine for me because I'm probably slightly small for my size, but if you're in between sizes, like bang on, it's probably best to go for the half size up. I think it's fair to say, because it is quite cramped around the toes. Otherwise, no concerns at all with the fit, good hold at the heel, no heel rub issues or anything like that, and nice secure fit around the midfoot. So just about to do my first run in the Asics Magic Speed 3. I've got a nice session on the plan doing 8x1K reps at around 325 per K pace with 60 seconds break in between. So about half marathon pace is the plan. It should feel quite hard because I haven't really been able to do great training lately. I'm going to swap for reps 3 and 4, I think, for 2 of the reps to the Asics Metaspeed Sky Plus, just to compare the Magic Speed to the Metaspeed, which obviously is the full carbon racing shoe in Asics' range. So should be a nice indication of what you kind of lose by opting for the plated trainer in the Magic Speed compared to the Metaspeed, which obviously is more expensive, higher stack, better foam, should be a little bit more lively, a little bit lighter as well, but be interesting to see what kind of comparison I can draw from that. And later in the day when I'm back at home, I might also do a short A/B test with the Magic Speed 2 and the Magic Speed 3 on my feet, just to see how the change in midsole setup has really affected the ride of the two shoes. But I was a big fan of the Magic Speed 2. I know there's been lots of reviews out there of the Magic Speed 3 saying, oh, no one thought the Magic Speed 2 was good. I thought it was a really good shoe. It was probably my favourite plated training shoe because the fit for me was better than the Endorphin Speed 3. So I'm really looking forward to getting out in the 3 today and seeing how it feels. So all done there. That was a really good session. Enjoyed that today. Pace was actually quite controlled on the reps there, a couple fast at the start, a bit overexcited. End up on the road today, a closed road near me, you can see behind me there, which is because it's sports day season here, so all the tracks are full around me with kids having a great time. Can't begrudge them that, so find a nice road instead. So up and down that, reps felt nice and controlled in both shoes. So swap to the Metaspeed Sky Plus for the third rep, and you can feel like it's it is got more oomph off the toes in particular. It's bouncy off the toes. You feel the forefoot a lot more because of the way the stack is set up as well, with the lower drop and just that bulbous forefoot on it. And then actually when I switched back to the Magic Speed, it almost felt more nimble. Little hill at the start of the rep, a very small one, and it just felt more nimble up it. But then coming down, you feel the roll onto the forefoot a bit firmer, a bit more clearly, because it's got slightly less foam under that forefoot, but then you get a little bit less pop off the toes compared to the Metaspeed Sky. But still a brilliant shoe. Like, I thought it was brilliant today. Like, really enjoyed it. Sort of when I felt really good at the start reps and the start of the session, just flying along, the shoe felt really light, really easy to pick up. But then when you're tiring, it does have that rolling effect that kind of helps you sustain paces, sustain your efficiency, and it's got that in the same way that super shoes have. Like, I think it is slightly less bouncy on the forefoot there compared to the Metaspeed today, but really is an impressive shoe for running fast. I felt very comfortable running quick in it today, and it feels like you can sustain fast paces in it. So I'll do that little AV test of the Magic Speed 2, another shoe I really liked. But yeah, really enjoyed the Magic Speed out there today. Thought it was a very impressive fast shoe. You know, not a big step down from the Metaspeed on those reps there, maybe a tad less bouncy, but has all the hallmarks of a really impressive plated shoe. So I've just been out for a little poodle wearing the Magic Speed 2 on one foot and the 3 on the other. I thought it would be interesting just because they are pretty similar shoes, to see if there was a change in feel with the carbon plate and the change in midsole foams. And to be honest, there isn't a massive one that's immediately noticeable. It certainly becomes a little bit more noticeable over time, but at first they feel quite similar shoes. I'd say the Magic Speed 3 certainly feels lighter and airier on the foot because it is lighter, but also the upper. The change of upper makes it feel a lot more open and lightweight, a bit more racy in general. I feel very slightly maybe speeds a transition a little bit more onto your forefoot and off the toes compared to the Magic Speed 2, but very slightly. Like I said, I really did like the Magic Speed 2. Thought it was a great shoe for doing fast workouts in, and it feels a little bit comfier when you sit back in your heels on the shoe, as I do, especially when running easy. I feel like it has a little bit more comfort maybe than the 2, but than the 3, but very marginal stuff there. See, it looks like a really big upgrade on paper, but certainly there's a lot more similarities than there are differences between the Magic Speed 2 and 3 in terms of the geometry, the setup, the foams used, even with the upgrade you have here with the 3, which is a bit lighter and has a full carbon plate and 2 layers of the FF Blast Plus foam. So my early verdict is that this is a nice little upgrade from Asics to the shoe without putting in a big price jump or anything like that. They just refined the shoe to make it a little bit lighter, racier, punchier, and slightly more exciting. And I think it's certainly a better option if you're looking at the Magic Speed as an alternative to full carbon plate racing shoes. Obviously, you can get full super shoe in sales for near the RRP of the Magic Speed 3, which means the price might be a little bit less of a concern. But at the same time, the Magic Speed 3 itself will come down in price. If it drops somewhere near £100 or $100, then you've ended up with what is really quite a good racing shoe, I think, given the changes that Asics have made, even if it's not quite a full super shoe. Michael put that to the test this weekend by doing the Asics London 10K in the shoes. We'll have a video on that to see how the Magic Speed really does fare as a full racing shoe rather than just a fast trainer. On the training side of things, I think it's an interesting option in this plated area, which is now full of really excellent shoes, I think. But when you look at those shoes, a lot more of them, I think, are gearing more towards being great all-rounders. Like the Endorphin Speed 3 is a brilliant all-rounder, very good at fast stuff, they're very comfortable. The Hoka Mach X is really built, I think, better for easy runs than anything else. Kinvara Pro, the same. Even the Puma DV8 Nitro has got a really good outsole, nice comfortable upper. Again, great for daily training, bit of speed work. Whereas I think the Magic Speed tilts more towards the speed end of things. I think it's a really fast shoe, very close to the performance of a carbon shoe for fast runs. Trade-off being it's a little bit less comfortable, I'd say, than all those other shoes. So if you're looking at it as an all-rounder, then that might be the area it falls down on a bit. We're going to have a lot of comparisons to those shoes coming up on the channel once we've done more testing of the Magic Speed, of course, and a few of those other shoes still. So I think I like the upgrade to this because it makes it a racier shoe. It makes it more clearly defined as a fast trainer speed shoe, race day alternative to carbon shoes, but losing out on maybe that versatility that you get with some of the other shoes out there. I think this will still be okay for easy runs. We'll put that to the test for the 4 of you, but that might hurt it a little bit when you compare it to something like the Endorphin Speed 3, which is so good for everything. Lots more testing to come. I'll get out and do some nice easy runs in it, which I did like doing in the Magic Speed 2, and we'll see how the shoe feels for those, but it certainly ticks the box when it comes to speed. So that's our first run review of the Asics Magic Speed 3. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Please do like, subscribe, ring the little bell, and we'll see you next time.